Okay, so tomorrow we're going to start our first real official lab. We're going to be doing a measurement lab, and it's called the Measurement Circus. And what circus is just because we're going to be taking measurements of a lot of different items. So in science, we talked about this yesterday, that error does not mean it's a mistake. Every lab and every measurement that we take, we're going to have some sort of error. And we talked about the different types of errors that we could have within a lab. We're going to be concentrating mainly on the error that is intrinsic to the measurement devices that we're using. We can only be as precise as the device that we're using. Okay, measurements can never be 100% accurate, therefore they have error intrinsic to the tool that we're using. So reporting error, the way that we report it is we're going to say G, say this is gravity, is 9.83. That's our measured value, or the average, or the average value, plus or minus the error. And we talked about yesterday the ways that we would get this value would be the average. So you would take that measurement maybe 6 times. Tomorrow I'm going to have you do 5 measurements for each thing, and then you're going to take the average or the mean value. And this is our sigma, which is going to be our standard deviation. In the case that we're going to be talking about, this will be able to be seen from the measuring device that we're going to be using. Okay, so let's talk about the lab itself. Okay, the purpose is to make accurate measurements using the plus or minus the error annotation. So although this is probably the only lab we're going to get in that much detail with error analysis later on in your college career, you're going to see this more, you're going to see this more in the labs that you're going to be doing there. The procedure, we're going to take the following measurements and calculate the error for each of these measurements. First, we're going to find the diameter of a marble. So here we're going to have a jar of marbles. You're going to take one of these marbles and you're going to have to find the diameter. So the way that you can do this is many ways. I mean, you could take a teeny piece of string, wrap it around, and find the length. But as we discussed yesterday in class, one of the good ways to find the diameter of a marble is by using a vernier caliper. Okay? And I'll help you out tomorrow of how to take those measurements. But remember, there is an error that's going to be intrinsic to the caliper. The other thing we're going to be doing is taking the surface area of a marble. Well, the surface area of a marble is the formula, so you're going to have to know that formula, and then what you're going to be doing is it's going to be based on the radius. The radius is what we measured, half of the diameter, so you're going to have to take that error included. You're also going to find the volume of the same marble, and you're going to be using the formula as well. The other thing we're going to do, number 4, we're going to take and move to our next item that we're going to be measuring, and we want to find the mass of a grain of rice. So I have a jar of rice. You're going to find the mass of one of these. And it seems pretty simple. You say, well, I'm just going to stick it on a scale, but what you're going to find out is that the error, the plus or minus value of a scale, is greater than the mass of one of these. So you're going to have to be a little creative and find out, how can I find the mass of one of these grains of rice? The next one is the diameter of a copper wire. So I'm going to give you a very fine, small gauge copper wire, and you're going to have to find the diameter of that. And once again, you're going to use some of the tools that I'm going to show you tomorrow. The last one here we're going to be talking about is a block of wood. So you're each going to have a block of wood, and you're going to drop it from a height of 3 meters, and you're going to time it using one of our timers right here. So you're going to find the time that it takes. Once again, you're going to do this trial 5 times, and you want to eliminate any of the human error by making sure that the same person is dropping it, the same person is timing it, so that their reaction time is going to be consistent throughout the whole experience. Okay, then the last thing that we're going to do is you're going to find the volume of this block of wood. So remembering what the volume is, it's the base times the height times the width, is you're going to be taking the measurement here. Well, there's going to be error intrinsic in this measurement times the error of this times the error of this. That's where we're going to get the information with your sigmas that I gave you the formula for yesterday. Okay, so what do you have to do tomorrow? What do you have to do to get ready for the lab? Sorry about that. Okay, so the first thing is I want you to do is you can download this lab and the pre-lab from the Edline account. Okay, the pre-lab is just some simple math that you're going to be doing that has to do with finding the error. You're going to finish that for tomorrow, and that is on Edline. You're also going to create the data table that you're going to use tomorrow in the lab. It always helps to have something already prepared when you come in so that you can start right away and take your measurements. So make sure you come in with the data table and your pre-lab done. So how do you create the data table? Please copy off the lab, and if you get with a partner, maybe one or two of you can make the copies of it, and I'll have lab groups for tomorrow. Make sure you come in with a copy of the lab, the pre-lab, and your pre-made data table. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write up our lab tomorrow night for homework, and that's going to be due Wednesday. Make sure that your lab has a purpose, has materials that you use, has the procedure, and that's going to be what you did and your lab group did, and it's just bullet comment steps. The data, I want you to fill in that data table that you created. Calculations, make sure that you show all the work for one of each type of calculation that you're doing. Remember, we said we're going to be taking 5 trials. You do not have to do it for all 5 of them, only for one. And then analyzing data, you're going to complete number 2, 3, and 4 from the lab write-up. Okay, and make sure that you answer all of those questions. And finally, your conclusion, you're going to be doing number 1 on the conclusion section of your lab write-up. All of this can be handwritten. It does not have to be a formal lab, but remember, if you're looking for college credit for this, please do college level work. This is a college level physics class, and we want to make sure that you put everything nicely in order. This is going to be due Wednesday. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow and get ready to do the lab. Bye.